Mr. Chairman, I want to begin by offering my sincerest condolences to the families who are here today. As the father of an 8-month-old child, I'm particularly devastated to see the babies in these pictures. I do believe that Boeing is a great American company, and that's part of why I'm so frustrated that we are here today. I also want to say that the FAA has failed in its duty to make sure that we fix, and we must ensure in this committee that we fix this process to make sure that this never happens again. Industry capture of safety regulation in any area is not only dangerous to the public, it's bad business. This has cost Boeing dearly, and it's cost our airlines dearly. That's why it's so important that we get this right. Mr. Muhlenberg, I hope that you are gathering from today's hearing that our concern isn't with the mistakes that were made. We are certainly concerned about that, but we understand the mistakes happen. Even the greatest companies make mistakes. It's the concealment. It's the purposeful concealment that bothers so many of us, with an obvious financial drive behind it. That the pilots didn't know about this is unacceptable. That you implemented this new system and had airlines rely on you to deliver a safe and reliable aircraft, and you did not do that, is unacceptable. And that we on this committee only are always finding out some of this information last month. You come here and you're telling us how sorry you are about what has happened, but yet we have to have whistleblowers tell us some of this information about what's going on inside Boeing. We only got some of this information on October 18th about these texts that are going on with some of your people. You have not fully complied with us. We've had to fight and scratch for all the information that we have to try and fix this system. And that makes me angry, and it makes me feel like your use of the word accountability has a very different meaning than mine. Now, this is not about pilot error. I've heard some of my colleagues mention pilot error. This is about catastrophic design flaw and regulatory failure that has caused us to lose hundreds of lives. 2 of your aircraft, sir, have gone down. In Dallas, where I represent, we have 2 airlines, Southwest Airlines and American Airlines, both of which have extensive hubs in my area. They have invested heavily in your aircraft. This grounding and these catastrophes have cost them over $1 billion. They've canceled 9,500 flights in the last quarter alone, that's American alone, and their hardworking employees are feeling the financial effects of your negligence. Now, when the 737 MAX flies again, after it has gone through the needed changes that are just now being done, which I think some of this process has shown that you knew should have been done in the first place, it will be a profitable aircraft for your company. And so my question to you is, how will you compensate the airlines and their employees who've lost so much due to your negligence?
Congressman, we've been working with a number of airlines, including American and Southwest. As you might have seen in our last quarterly report, we took a charge of several $1 billion associated with what we call customer compensation. Those discussions with those 2 airlines and many others around the country and around the world are ongoing. And our intent is to make things right with our customers. We feel terrible about the impact it's had. We know the flying public's been affected. We know these airlines have been affected. We know their communities have been affected. And we have a deliberate engagement approach with each and every airline, and we're working our way through that. And we've set aside a financial impact associated with that you've seen in our public reports.
Well, I'm going to be following this closely because there are hardworking employees of both these airlines who have no role in this, who are doing their best, who have been impacted by this. I fly Southwest twice a week. Every time I get on a plane, someone asks one of the flight attendants whether or not it's a MAX. You have a lot of work to do, sir. I yield back.